The Animal Assisted Therapy program got started at Phoenix Children's Hospital because we know that children and animals go together.
We find ways to bring a therapy animal into whatever a staff person might need to help them get their job done, to help the patient reach their treatment goals.
It's almost every single day that we have a dog that's here, and it's probably our most popular program that we have to offer the kids.
The moment the dog enters the room, it transforms the room into something familiar to them, such as maybe a backyard where they're used to throwing a ball with their dog.
Natalie is a brain tumor patient. She was in ICU for probably a good 2 weeks. And she didn't open her eyes. She didn't really respond much to anything until the therapy dog was brought in. She had tubes running in and out of her head to drain the fluid from her brain. They threw a sheet down on her bed. They had this huge golden retriever, I think it was, jumped up on the bed. Natalie put her hand on the dog, and that was it. She opened her eyes. She immediately responded to the animal laying next to her. It was a real life-changing experience for her right then and there because she was 8. Everything was taken away from her. And at that moment, it kind of gave her being a kid again.
The kids that are here, and they're working on so many different things. There's so many different areas that they could focus on for their goals for that particular day. For me, when I'm working with a patient, they may have some cognitive areas that they're working on, and so maybe having an animal in the room might spark a memory for maybe a particular patient that is having difficulty with their memory.
The dog kind of breaks the ice a little bit, and the children are a lot more apt to respond and do things when they think they're just playing with the dog, and realistically, by where I put the dog or what we're doing with the dog, they're actually doing therapy.
Even when Rosie was very sick, she was in ICU a couple of times, and they let the dogs come in there to see her, and I think that was very good for her because it uplifted her spirits, and it made her feel special because, you can't do anything in there. And there was times we just didn't know, it was sort of like, we didn't know. They told me, we don't know. And I said, well, can we bring the dogs in? Let her see the dogs. And I know it made her feel better because, she went to sleep, which she hadn't slept, went to sleep, the dog went to sleep, and they were, just like two little angels sitting there. And it was wonderful to see that. And, I'm grateful that the pet therapy program is here because I honestly don't know what we would have done.
How the therapy dogs helped me was to motivate me through my therapy because I was very stubborn. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to learn how to walk or use my right side actually.
Rosie got motivated. Like I said, she worked better. She got ready to go home, and I think she went home a lot sooner than they anticipated because she worked harder.
I've had particular patients, one I can specifically think of, who was having a bone marrow transplant, who had been very sick and really had gone into a shell, and we were trying to do physical therapy with him, and he really just was not interested. And once we got a dog in the room, it was a whole other world, and it was extremely important to him in his recovery.
I've watched a child who could not move the right side of her body, put the ball in her right hand, use her left hand to pick the ball up and throw it. And you see that, and you see these children getting better and better with the assistance of a therapy dog. There's nothing better.
The dogs were really happy and soft and really playful, and I just loved them because it was so nice. They brought lots of joy to me.
They bring a sense of joy into otherwise sad little people.
Animals are unconditional. They don't care if you have hair, or if you don't have hair, or if you can walk, or if you can't walk. It's an unconditional love, and that's why I think the program is so important.
The Animal Assisted Therapy program here at Phoenix Children's really is a program that relies on grants and donations and fundraisers, support of the community, support of people who believe in animal assisted therapy programs, and people like you and I that provide that support to ensure that pediatric patients have some level of normalcy in their hospitalization.
The Animal Assisted Therapy program solely depends on fundraised dollars, proceeds from special events,
and contributions from private organizations and individuals. So each year, we need around $100,000 to fund the program in its entirety.
The goal is for them to have great, positive, rewarding experiences that's going to not just fill a couple minutes, but do so much more.
I do not believe I'd be doing half the things I am now if it weren't for the Therapy Dogs program.